Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today we are just going to be breaking down whether you should or should not buy the Sony A7 III in 2025. It's insane that it's already 2025, but I guess that's just how time works. So let's just jump into the video. The A7 III was released back in 2018, and when it first came out, it was an absolute game changer, and it dominated the mirrorless market for a few years. Fast forward to 2025. There are so many options for photographers and videographers on the market today, so does this camera still hold up? And more importantly, is it worth it for the price? The A7 III has a 24.2 megapixel sensor with 693 autofocusing points. It shoots 10 frames per second in burst shooting. It does extremely well in low light. And for video shooters, it offers 4K 30 and 1080 at 120 frames per second. It's lightweight, it has incredible battery life, and the price has dropped significantly since its release. But in 2025, the camera market is extremely different than it was in 2018. Since then, Sony has come out with a handful of cameras, including, but not limited to, the A7 IV, the A7C, the A7C II, the A7R IV, and even the Sony ZV-E1, which are all great options for photographers and videographers alike. These cameras have higher resolution sensors, better autofocus algorithms, and plenty of other modern features. One of my favorite features that they've come out since then is honestly just the flip out screen. The way that the A7 III flips out is extremely simple. It just flips up, and that's really all you get. But with the newer cameras, you get a flip screen that allows you to vlog easier. And for me personally, I find myself being able to get better angles because I can actually see the monitor in a ton of different scenarios. And because of all these new features, the A7 III is starting to show its age. So who should buy the A7 III in 2025? I think if you're a beginner or hobbyist looking for a really great, reliable, full resolution camera, the A7 III is a great option. It's also a great choice for people transitioning from crop sensor cameras to a full frame camera. However, if you're a professional and you're looking for cutting edge features like 10-bit video, or the ability to shoot in resolutions like 4K 60, or are looking for a camera with better autofocus tracking, you might want to invest in a newer model. But that doesn't mean that the Sony A7 III is a bad camera. The A7 III was my second full-frame Sony camera. I first had the A7 II, and then I moved up to the A7 III, and now I currently use the A7 IV. And I feel like that was a really great progression of cameras. This gave me the ability to learn and get familiar with Sony camera settings and Sony colors, and just get a hang of what a Sony camera has to offer. And then once I kind of maximized my knowledge of a camera, I naturally progressed to the next model. But I want to make it abundantly clear, I'm not trying to tell you to go buy the newer one because it's the newer one. I don't want to be one of these people that perpetuates these videos that the old camera sucks and now you need to go get the newer one, because I just don't think that that's true. But do I think that there's cameras out there with a similar price point that are more worth it? Yeah, and honestly now when like my friends or family ask me what camera they should get and they have X budget, I usually recommend them the A7C. Just because it's a newer model, it has a little bit newer software, and it does have the flip out screen, unlike the A7 III. And again, for me, that's a big deal. For some people, they don't care. It doesn't matter to them, and that's totally fine. And, you know, to each their own. But for me, like, there are definitely some features that the A7C offers that the A7 III doesn't offer that I personally, if I was starting over, I would have liked to have. But I don't want to get too much into that here because I already made a video about the A7 III versus the A7C. So if you are kind of curious more about those two cameras, I definitely recommend going and watching that video. But to get back on track here, I definitely do think the A7 III is a fantastic camera. If you can, I recommend finding it used. eBay is a wonderful place to find used camera gear. It is where I have bought almost every single camera that I own. And, you know, obviously there's some sketchy stuff that goes down, but for the most part, find a good seller with a good rating and you're gonna be okay. So again, if you're after a very, very durable camera that isn't gonna let you down, it's gonna be dependable, and it's gonna get you the quality of images that you want, and even the quality of video that looks fantastic. I have shot a lot of my videos on the A7 III, and honestly, I still kind of have a hard time seeing the difference between the A7 III and the A7 IV, at least for video quality. But that's just because the A7 IV doesn't offer like 5.3K or anything like that. But that's okay, because I don't think you need that. I think it's something that we as humans are just constantly trying to get better and better and better. And honestly, like at some point, I think it's good. Like I think it's fine. The only thing I will say to close this video is that if you're looking for a camera that you need for the next 1 to 2 years, I definitely think that the A7 III, or like I said earlier, the A7C is a great option for you. But if you're looking for a camera that's gonna get you through the next 5 to 10 years, honestly, I would probably look elsewhere. I absolutely love my A7 IV. It's a camera that I've had for literally 3 years, and I think I'm probably gonna use it for the next 10. I have no plans of upgrading, so you do have to keep that in mind that, you know, maybe let's get a camera that's gonna last me a longer time versus a camera that, you know, might fall short in 1 to 2 years. That's where my head's at least. But if you guys have any thoughts on this topic or need any more camera suggestions or lens suggestions, I have a ton on my page. But if not, I'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.